tell you that there is so much going on in this news that you need to be aware of. Listen, okay? So my name is Nichelle, and I am a small content creator growing into a huge content creator. Yes, you got to speak it into existence, okay? Today we're going to talk about some changes that recently took place with Airbnb. So if this is your first time to my channel, don't let it be your last. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that share button. Go ahead and leave a comment, because guess what? It is free. Free, 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 free. It ain't gonna hurt you to do that, okay? Let's get really right down into the nitty gritty as to what's going on. So I've been doing property management since 2003. I have been a short-term rental host for about 10 years, 10 to about 15 years. We were doing short-term rental before they even knew what short-term rental was, okay? As a property manager, as a host of property, I work with small business owners, big business owners, and I even have some myself. So, or we have some, okay? Anywho, there's a lot going on with short-term rental because we know the larger platforms that house short-term rentals, like the Airbnbs, the VRBOs, and all of those are the two largest platforms that house short-term rentals for hosts like small business owners like myself, like the clients that I serve who have rental property. And so I was seeing a lot of stuff online, people saying that they were going to be boycotting, different business, because they boycotted, Target, they've boycotted, just many stores in general. I have no problem with that, but I guess the problem that I do have with people boycotting things is that the small business owner. Let's talk about the small business owner that is typically impacted, affected, and that typically loses in the process when you do that. So there are small business owners that are within every frame of business that has been boycotted. And what I have been advising my clients to do, because we have our own platform, however, Airbnb and VRBO, they're like the launching pad for small business owners who are just getting started, who don't necessarily understand the process of short-term rentals. Airbnb, VRBO, those are the launching pads for that. And so what I've been sharing with my clients, that if you currently are on that platform, there's a couple of things that we need to do. First of all, we're trying to move majority of our clients that are short-term rental onto our platform, which is our website that we have. We're literally trying to do that. Being that we're small, we don't have the money like Airbnb and VRB do. It's a process, and it takes some time, and it actually costs money to build platforms like Airbnb, VRBO. It takes money. And a lot of times, if you don't own a business, if you've never been in business before, if you know nothing about real estate, if you know nothing about properties, you don't understand the capacity that people are facing right now. So to be honest with you, since the tariffs hit, it has hit a lot of people in their pocket, And again, if you're not a business owner, you may not understand that in that capacity. If you are a working every day and you've been let go from some job or another, then you probably understand what I'm talking about as well. And so what I want to enforce with everyone is that it is easier to say you love something or anything of that nature if you don't know anything about it. So I see all the people coming on here putting all their stuff on here, and I thought that and I'm not going to let you distort my move right here. So I'm getting ready to just go ahead and get you away from here, because you keep typing that crap on my page, and we're not going to allow that to happen. Okay, this is a peaceful space, and if you're not here with good vibes, you can just carry on. Okay, it's so simple just to keep carrying on and going about your business. But anywho, let's talk about what Airbnb has just done. This just happened recently and I'm reading here from something that was sent to me, because due to the fact that I'm in property management, I am constantly getting information as it relates to property management, some things that we need to do, some things that I need to share with my clients. I want my clients to be profitable. I want to be profitable as a business. And the only way that we can do that is to keep learning, keep growing, and stay in the know. Okay. It's so important as as a business owner to stay in the know. Heck, it's important to stay in the know if you're just going to work every day, because see, a lot of people are losing their jobs. And being a business owner, I've been a part of attrition before, when people have downsized and told me that it was a layoff or they're reorganizing the company and things of that nature. Those things happen. I mean, if you've been around a while, you know that. And I've been reorganized many times in different kind of capacities of business that I've been in. And even as a small business owner, I've had to realign some things as well. That's all good and dandy. The thing that I want to make you aware of is the impact. So Airbnb, they are now, for just as what I'm reading here from Airbnb, failing to disclose a security deposit is now a problem. Okay, and so most hosts are not allowed to charge a security deposit. Most hosts are not allowed to charge a security deposit. For the small number of instances in which security deposits are permitted, they must be disclosed. So anything in business, you gotta disclose it. No matter what you're doing, business, people need to know what they're paying for, how they're paying it, and what kind of benefit or situation that they're going to be in that regard. And so one thing that I always like to share with my clients is that we got to read the small print. When you read the small print, you understand things that are going on. And so, as I stated, you're not allowed to, but for those that are, and failing to disclose required deposits for incidentals as part of a hotel standard procedures. The deposit must be disclosed in the listing description. So if you don't disclose the things that you charge, including those security deposits, including things like if they break something in the house, then you probably will be going against their rules and regulations. You will be, according to this new document that just came out. If you don't disclose it in your Airbnb listing, you are going against the policies. So again, I always advise my clients to make sure that they read everything. When we are signing up new clients for property management, for short-term rental, long-term rental, we always make them aware. Read the contract. The contract, a lot of times people are so in a hurry to get started, they skim through things and don't know what the hell they signing, okay? So you got to know. That's why it's important to hire professionals that know the business, that can help and assist you through the process. Okay, so the deposit must be disclosed in the listing description. That is the new rule of order from Airbnb. And to be honest with you, ain't nothing really changed, because we always disclose if you lose keys to our properties and things of that nature, you're going to pay to have that key refit or redone. We're also going to charge you for somebody to come out there if they have to get inside the property and you don't have the key to change the locks, rekey. We charge for all that. Here's the exception for Airbnb. In locations where Airbnb does not collect taxes, or where hosts are legally required to collect them directly from guests, hosts must disclose in the listing description as well. Okay, if they are paying fees like taxes and stuff, you gotta disclose it in the listing. Payment for any reservation fee off Airbnb, because everybody be trying to get them off Airbnb, because people don't want people. First of all, clients be reaching out to you. Can I pay you outside of Airbnb? And I'm like, if I secured that client from there, we don't typically do that, but sometimes we'll have people, especially if they're new to the process. Like I have like 5 new people that are trying to check in properties right now. They've never been on the platform, and we're their first host that they've ever utilized as far as the short-term rental Airbnb. And so I'm like heavily scrutinize them, because we require for them to submit documentation, who they are, because we want to make sure to do just a background check. Because see, you want to make sure that people who are checking into your property, that they are who they say they are, because people lie. People lie. Again, I've been in this process since 2003, and I can't tell you how many people have lied about who they are, what they do, and how they do it. Okay, so we always get documentation. People who are staying in our property, we get driver's license. We make sure that you're not a criminal, that you're checking into the properties. And I think that's been the problem. So many people jumped into Airbnb when it was like big and popular, but it's only a few people that are still standing. And I am happy to say that we are one of those few people. Okay, it is very few people. And so when you are jumping into any type of business because it is popular to do, those are typically the people that leave the soonest. Okay, Those are the people that you typically see that don't stay around a long time. And it ain't been easy. I'm here to tell you, it's been a real hard struggle trying to, number one, stay in business, especially during this season right now. It's really hard to stay in business, but we stay focused. And I tell all my clients, stay focused on your goals, stay focused on your purpose, stay focused on what it is that you do, that you love to do. No matter what it is, stay focused. Okay. And then I will be remiss to tell you, pray about it. Okay. I pray about everything, anything. Why? Because it's capital God that makes a way out of no way. Yes. Okay. Peace. We'll talk. So, payment for any reservation fee off Airbnb. So they will remove you from this platform, these premises, if you do that. Requesting, sending, or receiving payments outside of Airbnb is prohibited. Now, ain't nothing changed with that. That's what they said they want. When you sign up, if you steer people away from their platform onto yours or somewhere else, they're going to penalize you and remove you from the platform. And believe it not be true, it's true, because I've seen people that has happened to. So, what do you do if you're trying to build that business? Build that business. You know, I don't never recommend people steer people away from things. However, you got to get creative with what you're trying to do. Because, see, once Airbnb takes you off, they don't put you back on. They don't put you back on, pretty much. They don't. And trying to get justification or trying to fight the cause to stay, it's hard because you're dealing with foreigners. Majority of the people that work on the back end of Airbnb, they are not in the United States. They are not in this country. I know one time I had to get, someone asked me about getting things removed, like reviews and stuff, because people lie. People lie. And one thing that really disturbs me, people have the nastiest houses, but yet they'll come into your short-term rental and mess it up, and then they just leave stuff everywhere. They just leave stuff everywhere. And it's like, do you keep your house like this? Treat this like your home. And that's part of our request when people book for us. I have them make sure they read the listing, that they understand what our requirements are before you come into the property, no matter. And we typically do longer term bookings. So short term bookings, they never fare well, and them typically are your problem clients. Okay. Those are typically your problem clients. So Airbnb is prohibited. They're making it known now. They want you to know that if you steer people away from their platform, you're gone. This includes the cost of the reservation and fee payments related to reservations, options fee to heat the pool. Okay. So if you're charging anything extra, reservation fee off of Airbnb, they got a problem with that. They want you to send the client the fee through their app. Okay. And so, in our stuff, though, our marketing company, they just kind of place our properties on different platforms because we don't advertise per se on there, but they place us on there because the marketing company wants to make available our products and our services to guests from all platforms. We don't discriminate. Some of the exceptions of accepting payment for reservation fee off Airbnb, and you got to select software. Connected hosts may collect payment for disclosed mandatory fees and security deposits off the Airbnb platform. So select software. Connected hosts may collect payment for, there I go. Duh, what happened to me? Yes. Okay. And so that's it. Hotels may request a credit card or cash deposit at check-in to cover the cost of incidentals as part of the standard procedures. You can do that. Hotels may also collect payment off the Airbnb platform for optional fees, example like parking, because we charge for parking in some of our places as well, where it is part of the standard procedures. So those are just some key things that Airbnb has changed. Again, with all the stuff that's going on, the main thing is that they don't want you taking people from them. They want to make sure that they continue to secure their business, bar none. Okay. They want to make sure that they stay standard. And I also heard the other day that one of the co-founders, and I can't remember his name right offhand, but one of the co-founders decided to leave the platform. One of the co-founders of Airbnb decided to leave the platform. So what does that mean? I don't know. Is there going to be shakeup? So with any change comes shakeup. And so being that there is going to be some shakeup, we're going to see some rifting and some shifting and things of that nature within the industry of short-term rental. And to be honest with you, it's already starting to happen. We're starting to see more and more things change as the year rolls around with all the things that are going on in the administration and things of that nature. But I do want to make you aware that every business has a season, just like every life and things of that nature. Don't let what's going on interfere with your dreams, your drive, your determination. Businesses are still making it happen here. I mean, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard, but they're still making it happen. And you just need to stay positive. You need to stay motivated and stay focused. Cannot stress it enough. Stay focused on your goals. So I hope that little update that I've shared with you about the different changes that are specifically coming down from Airbnb, that you take note and that you do something different. Okay. Let me check to see who was that. And I forgot his name. That let's see. Okay, let's see who that was. It is yeah, it is he actually stepped down from his full-time role, Joe Gibbia. He actually stepped down in 2022. While he initially stepped back from his executive role in 2022, he continued to serve on the board of directors and later stepped down from his role as chairman of Airbnb.org April 2025. So just recently, like a couple of days ago, April 8th, he decided to step down from Airbnb.org because they didn't give a reason why. I don't know why. All I know is he resigned from Airbnb, and Airbnb he stepped down. And I see here that it says that he is quitting, has agreed to work with must. So I mean, hey, that's part of the shakedown. But last but not least, I just want to really emphasize the fact that think about small business owners when you make decisions, because see, these big businesses, they're going to always make money because they're backed by, most of the time, billionaires. And so they're going to always make money. They're going to always, for the most part, be profitable. Even when they lose a little bit of market share, they're still going to be profitable because they got these investors that dive heavily into it. Think about the small business owner. Always think about the small business owner, and am I taking food out of their mouth? Okay. Because listen, small business owners are the fuel of the economy. So when you take away from a small business owner, you literally are taking away from the economy. These people out here work hard. They have dreams. America is supposed to be about dreams, building dreams. And when you don't support that small business owner, what is America? Are you destroying that dream? Okay. Everybody's not meant to be a business owner, and everybody's not meant to be an employee. Okay. All right. Peace. Okay, so I hope I shared some great information with you. If you like anything real estate, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment below. Always be respectful. And that is my message for today. Blessings and peace. Make it a great day on purpose. Talk to you soon. Bye.